Hey Bears fans, I got a question for you guys before we jump into today's show. Should the Bears hire a general manager or a head coach first? I would prefer a GM, but I think certain coaches could be the exception. Type GM if you want a general manager first. Type HC if you want a head coach first, because guess what? On today's show, full GM head coach tracker, every single interview that is lined up to this point. So stay tuned for some of the names that the Bears are taking a look at right now. You're watching Chicago Bears Now. I'm your host, Harrison Graham. Shout out to Ultra Game for giving me this sweet new shirt. You guys have been asking me to rep some Bears gear. There you go. And hey, they've got some awesome licensed, authentic NFL gear for you guys, plus a giveaway opportunity coming up later on in the show. Details of that will be in the comments in the description of this video as well, so check that out. But stay tuned. Giveaway opportunity for some sweet Bears gear. Okay, today's show, like I mentioned, head coach GM search tracker. Basically, all the GMs and head coaches that are lined up to interview with the Bears, at least up to this point. I certainly think some other names could emerge as well. We'll go coaches first, and by the way, I do want to mention the numbers you're going to see at the bottom of your screen. That's just the order of the scheduled interview. So we'll start with Doug Pederson. That does not mean he is the Bears' top choice. That means that is the first interview that they conducted. The ex-Philadelphia Eagles head coach interviewed on Wednesday, and by the way, from what I've heard, he did not necessarily impress in his interview. Doesn't mean that he will not be a candidate for this job, but he just didn't, overwhelm or wow anybody in the interview. That, according to Jeff Huges of DaBearsBlog. Okay, next up, Brian Flores, the ex-head coach of the Miami Dolphins. Of course, surprised all of us when Miami decided to fire him. He is set to interview on Friday, which means no head coach interviews today. There will be some GM interviews that take place today, but no head coach ones, at least none that are public. Okay, next up, that is offensive coordinator for the Packers, Nathaniel Hackett, the third interview that the Bears have lined up. Again, these numbers just in order of when the interviews will take place. This one will take place on Saturday, coming up in a couple days, Saturday, so stay tuned for that. Again, the Bears have a lot of interviews lined up, and not all of them have scheduled dates as of now. But Doug Pederson yesterday, Brian Flores Friday, and then Nathaniel Hackett will interview with the Bears on Saturday. Go ahead and answer me this question. Pick a former head coach. Type DP for Doug Pederson. Type BF for Brian Flores. If you had to pick between these two guys, I want to hear it from you guys right now in the comments. And while you're typing your votes in, hit that subscribe button, because we'll have you guys covered throughout this full Bears coaching and general manager search. Hit that sub button. We will likely go live when the Bears hire a coach. We'll probably go live when they hire a GM as well, because that's how we rock. Either way, we'll have videos. You can bet your know what on that. Chat or youtube.com/BearsNow. Go check us out. Subscribe. We're closing in on 40,000 subscribers. All right, next up, Leslie Frazier is next in the pecking order for the interview list for Chicago, the defensive coordinator out of Buffalo. Again, I'm not super thrilled about the idea of Frazier. He will interview on Sunday. There continues to be buzz as him being a real candidate with the Chicago Bears. He will interview on Sunday. Okay, Matt Eberflus, the defensive coordinator for the Indianapolis Colts, next up here. He will interview on Monday. A lot of chatter. Oh, could the Bears go Colts, head coach and GM, because a couple of GM interviews lined up as well from guys in the Indianapolis front office. We'll tell you who those guys are later on in the video as we're going coaches now and then GMs later. So Matt Eberflus set to interview with Chicago on Monday. What type of coach do you want? Defense, offense? I want to hear it for the head coach, obviously. Type O for offense, type D for defense. Let's hear it from you guys down in the comment section. What type of coach do you want leading the Chicago Bears? Well, these three are all defense. Dan Quinn, number 6 here in terms of the scheduled interview. Haven't found a confirmed date, but I have seen that it is, quote, late next week. So a couple of things to keep in mind here. One, that's at least a week away. And two, I think the reason it's late next week, I'll put in air quotes, is because Dan Quinn has emerged as the favorite for the Broncos job. The betting odds suggest that. All the momentum is Dan Quinn to Denver. So it's possible he actually doesn't end up interviewing. He could be named the head coach of the Broncos as early as next week. But if that falls through, then I'm sure the Bears will still go ahead and interview Dan Quinn, and then he could become a candidate. All right, guys, I teased you about our Ultra Game giveaway from earlier in the video, and here it is. You can get this hoodie right now for free by entering our giveaway. Now, only one of you guys is going to win, but sweet little light hoodie for you guys, just a little pullover right there. All you got to do is type this, Ultra Game, to the pinned comment. Type Ultra Game. That's it for a chance to win. Reply right there with Ultra Game. If you type Ultra Game elsewhere in the comments, you're not entered. So you got to reply to the pinned comment if you want to take advantage of this giveaway opportunity. And of course, go check out their other gear as well. Chatsports.com/Bears giveaway. You can look at more details on this giveaway jacket. Hey, go check it out. Reply Ultra Game to the pinned comment. Okay, let's keep it moving here. Bears head coach interview tracker. We'll speed it up a bit because we got some GM candidates as well. Brian Daboll, the offensive coordinator of the Buffalo Bills. No date or time confirmed, but he is on the docket to interview. But as of yet, that information is not public. Same is true with Byron Leftwich. He is set to interview with Chicago, the offensive coordinator of the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. No scheduled interview date, at least publicly, but he is set to interview with the Bears. And then Todd Bowles, same thing as well, the defensive coordinator of the Bucs. Obviously, Tampa has playoff game this weekend, so that could play into it as well, as does the Bills also. All three of these guys, Daboll, Leftwich, and Bowles, will interview, just we don't have a confirmed date for you guys as of yet. Some exclusions that have not been reached out to, at least that we know of. Kellen Moore, the offensive coordinator of the Cowboys. This one surprises me a little bit. Maybe they circle to him and interview him later in the process, but as of now they have not. Josh McDaniels, the offensive coordinator of the New England Patriots. I'm not sure he's gotten any interview requests, actually. Maybe he's put it out there that he is not going to leave New England. I'm not sure. Jim Caldwell, the former Lions head coach, I think he'll get some looks, but the Bears have not been one of those teams that have reached out as of yet. And then obviously, you guys, what about Jim Harbaugh? Well, they don't have to put a request for him because he's the head coach at Michigan, but things pretty quiet around him. I mean, there's rumors out there, betting sites saying, oh, he's the favorite or the second favorite to land this job. There's a lot of buzz around the Raiders as well, depending on what happens in their playoff game this weekend. But all in all, things pretty quiet around Jim Harbaugh as of now. We'll see, if he leaves Michigan for the NFL. Who do you want as the next Bears head coach? I want to hear it from you guys down in the comment section. Those are the 9 that are being interviewed as of now, but certainly some names could emerge as well on top of that. Let me know, who do you want as the next Bears head coach? All right, let's shift to general manager tracker here. Glenn Cook, the vice president of player personnel. This interview was completed on Wednesday. Bears interviewed him, and then former head coach Doug Pederson on Wednesday. Those are the interviews that took place on that day. Okay, Kwesi Adofo-Mensah, also in the Browns organization, vice president of football operations. He is set to interview today. Could be happening as we are filming this as well, as is Champ Kelly, the internal option for Chicago, assistant director of player personnel. He is also reportedly set to interview today, and quite frankly, I think he deserves this interview. I think if you're going to promote someone from within the organization, it would be Champ Kelly. Now, I wouldn't necessarily do it unless he just blows you away and you think that he can take you in the direction you want to go in, but he deserves this interview, and I think he would be a candidate to stay within the organization under the new GM, so keep that in mind. Bears clearly like him if they are going ahead and interviewing him. Would you be okay with Champ Kelly getting the GM job? I would. I'd probably go in a different direction, but I'd be okay with it. Type Y for yes, type N for no. Let us know what you guys think. Okay, Jeff Ireland, the assistant general manager of the New Orleans Saints, who was added to the docket. He is going to interview tomorrow on Friday. So you kind of look at these scheduled interviews, more GM candidates on the front side of this than coaching ones. So maybe, they're leaning in that direction to go ahead and get a GM before they get a head coach. Want to remind you guys of our giveaway alert, chatsports.com/Bears hoodies, where you can buy this one, but type Ultra Game in the comments, reply it to the pinned comment for a chance to win this hoodie, and if you don't win it, you can buy it at that link. Other gear as well, though. You got this t-shirt, chatsports.com/Bears shirt. You've got this other long sleeve one available as well. That one is at chatsports.com/Bears giveaway. This is actually the giveaway link for you guys. Go check it out. All those links will be in the comments. It'll be in the description. Chatsports.com/Bears giveaway/Bears shirt. It's all available. All the information will be down in the comments section. Okay, let's keep it moving here. Morocco Brown, the director of college football scouting with the Indianapolis Colts. The rest of these guys, no interview date confirmed as we're filming this, so keep that in mind. Ed Dodds, also in the Colts organization, to be announced. Assistant GM, he's my number one candidate. We'll see when the interview actually takes place. Rand Carthen, the Director of Player Personnel with the San Francisco 49ers. You guys know the drill. No scheduled time and date, but obviously the Niners are playing in the playoffs, so maybe it'll be next week. Rick Smith, the former GM of the Houston Texans. I'm growing to the idea of going ahead and making Rick Smith the general manager. He's done it before. He did it for a long time in Houston. He did not get fired. He left because his wife was battling cancer. Think about the Texans franchise. It launched in, 2000, 2002, somewhere in there. He was there from 06 to 17, helped transition them from a expansion franchise into a playoff contender. I mean, they did some really good work. Now, they didn't have a ton of playoff success, but they built a really good roster, and Rick Smith was at the center of all of that. Who's your top GM candidate? I'm still Ed Dodds, but I like Rick Smith quite a bit. Let us know down in the comments who you want to replace Ryan Pace. Okay, a few more here. Joe Shane, the assistant GM of the Buffalo Bills. Again, no scheduled interview, but he is the favorite for the Giants GM job. I don't think he's that realistic for Chicago at this point, but an interview request has been put out there. Omar Khan, the Vice President of Football and Business Administration in Pittsburgh. I like this name quite a bit because he's been a part of a team that hasn't had a losing season in 15 years. Okay, Elliot Wolf, the Director of Scouting in New England, a name that I know a lot of you guys like. All these guys set to interview at some point, just no confirmed interview time or date as of now. So there you have it. 11 GM candidates, 9 head coach candidates as of now, so 20 names in total, quite a few to go through there. Give me a follow on Instagram at HGramNFL. I'll keep trying to update my IG story as more stuff comes in, so go ahead and give me a follow. Also, one more reminder from Ultra Game, authentic NFL gear. We're giving away that hoodie we showed you guys. Details down in the comments, so be sure to go and check that out. Ultra Game, it's a sweet deal. Finally got some Bears gear for you guys. All right, appreciate you guys. We'll see you soon here on the channel.